YouTubers. This video I'm just going to cover a couple of reasons why I don't buy gold. I'm not preaching against it or anything. If you want to buy gold, that's your business. I'm just going to give a couple of reasons why I'm not doing it. So here's first.
Yeah, putting the mantle of FDR on Obama's shoulders. Let's remember one of the first things FDR did, called a bank holiday. And I love the language, holiday.
Right.
Yeah, you can't get your money out. And they do this in countries where there's a lot of problems, like in Argentina. So your money may be frozen. The second thing that they did with FDR is the Federal Emergency Banking Act of 1933, is they confiscated the people's gold. If you didn't turn in your gold, you went to jail, and if they caught you with whatever you had to pay double the amount.
But you also, I think it was a 10 or a 20-year prison term.
Yeah, I believe it was 10 years, yeah.
So
yeah, you didn't get the Bernie Madoff deal.
Right. So, but what...
Now, I dug up this Emergency Banking Relief Act of 1933. I don't know how much of this I'm going to put in the video, but I'll make sure I definitely link to it. Just in Section 2, Subdivision B, just so you know where to look, it's really legal speak, so you got to dig through it a little bit, but essentially it gets down to saying that the President authorizes the pretty much any and every agency to investigate or whatever anyone who's hoarding, exporting, melting, or earmarking of gold or silver coin and bullion. And you dig through it a little bit, and it gets down to saying that anyone that's found doing any of these things, exporting, hoarding, melting, earmarking, pretty much anything to do with gold. If you own gold, this applies to you. They'd be fined not more than $10,000, which was a lot more back then than it is now, or maybe imprisoned for not more than 10 years, or both. Back when this was going on, I think this was before they started the Federal Reserve. But like Gerald said, that they just came and they said, give us all your gold, or we're gonna find the crap out of you, or end up putting you in prison. So I'd imagine if they did that during the Great Depression, another one's coming, and I don't see why they wouldn't do the same thing. Another reason I'm looking at it, this verse applies to the Israelites in the Old Testament, but it also makes sense for the situation that is coming to us. Ezekiel 7:19 says, "They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity." To say it's possible that verse applies more to maybe the patriot mentality, where you go hide in your bunker and you got your gold and all your guns and ammo and everything. I'm all for self-defense and being prepared for a situation, but to trust that like a self-reliance where you think you can survive the tribulation. I mean, this is God we're talking about here. This guy knows how to make everybody's life miserable to the point where you're either looking to God or you're yelling at him. So like I said before, I'm not preaching against gold. I'm just saying that if you put all your trust in it, then it's going to fail you. Another thing I think is interesting about the tribulation and gold, if you look at Daniel 11:38, it talks about the Antichrist and says that I'll just read it to you verbatim. But in his estate shall he honor the God of forces, and a God whom his fathers knew not shall he honor with gold and silver and precious stones and pleasant things. If the Antichrist is honoring his God with gold and silver, do you think that he's going to let you keep yours? I mean, there's already been precedent set that they're going to, want to come take your gold. So that's just another thought and another reason to think that they will take your gold. I know I always like to talk about James 5:1 when I'm talking about money and everything. It talks about ye rich men weep and howl for your gold is corrupted, something like that. But here's another common one. 1 Timothy 6:10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and have pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Just chasing money or trusting money or whatever, that is something the Bible speaks against. So, again, I'm not preaching against gold. I don't think it's a bad thing to have. If the dollar does collapse, perhaps you'll be able to use it for something. But I'm just seeing too much evidence that it's either going to be taken away or God's going to make it useless to you in some way. So those are just my thoughts on it. If you've got gold, don't feel convicted or guilty or whatever. But if anybody should feel guilty about it, it should be me, because when I got home from Iraq, I had a good chunk of money in the bank, and gold was at I want to say $650 or something, and that was that was late 2005, early 2006, and now it's up to $1,100. So if anybody missed out on the gold, it was me. So maybe I am preaching against it because I got duped and I missed out. But whatever. Those are just my thoughts on it. Trust Jesus, not money. He's the only one that's going to get you through anything. And since I believe in a pre-trib rapture, if you're right now, you won't have to worry about any of this stuff anyway. So hope it helps straighten somebody out, or get some thoughts provoked in there. So hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.